Chris Wilson. He's a political pollster and CEO of WPAi Intelligence, joins us now to discuss. So, Chris, do you think Hillary Clinton will be back on the campaign trail in 2020?
Well, can I say I hope she will rather than I think she will? That would, I think what you're looking at with Bloomberg relying so much, and I say this as a pollster, relying so much on poll-tested messaging, poll-tested TV ads, poll-tested VP choices leaked early, is a campaign that really doesn't know what it stands for or what it wants to accomplish outside of just winning. And I do believe if they have tested Hillary Clinton, who clearly has a base with the Democratic Party, you heard the Ellen audience applaud to this, makes his numbers go up or gives him a better chance against Donald Trump, that's exactly what he would do. But I also think what you could be looking at coming into 2020 and coming out of 2020 is a complete realignment of the parties in the sense of think about why Hillary Clinton lost in 2016. And you can point to a few states, Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Florida, where Hispanics and African Americans stayed home. They didn't vote for Donald Trump necessarily, but they stayed home and did not vote for Clinton. You had turnout way down from where it had been in the Obama years, and even back to 2004 when John Kerry was the nominee. And so if you put Michael Bloomberg at the top of the ticket and Hillary Clinton at the second position on the ticket, and then you have Donald Trump on the other side, who's actually done something about criminal justice reform, has actually helped African-American unemployment reach its lowest level in history, and they've seen wages with African-American workers rise to the highest level in history. I think you're going to look at a realignment of the minority support in the parties that Democrats are going to look back on in 10, 20 years and think, wow, what in the world were we thinking?
So how would Democrats be able to secure those voters?
Well, it's by choosing other candidates is the bottom line. I think right now they've got a group of candidates running that don't really do them any favors with the minority vote. And you look at the campaign Obama ran, the candidate that Obama was, and he was able to take minority turnout and the minority vote percentage up to record levels and really push them back into the Democratic Party, where the George W. Bush campaign had made some inroads in 2000 and 2004. And let's face it, the minority constituencies, particularly African Americans, and to a lesser extent Hispanics, have been the most reliable Democrat constituency going back to the New Deal, and really more of that since the Great Society. I guess is whenever you had even more of a shift to the Democratic Party. And now, if you have a situation where you have Trump on one side, and this would just be so infuriating to Democrat leadership that believes that Donald Trump is an anathema to what a minority voter would be looking for, but you cannot argue with the success of the economy. You can't argue with the success of the economy reaching across all divides, all racial, ethnic, and income level divides. And then you have Hillary Clinton, who ignored the African-American vote in 2016. You have Michael Bloomberg, who is on film saying some pretty despicable things about minorities in general and even minority voters to a lesser extent. I think that is, it puts them in a very difficult position. And so the candidates that would have solidified the African-American or even the minority vote in general for the Democrats are now out of the race. The Cory Bookers, the Kamala Harrises, you can see Biden is still has that capability, but he's going to be gone after South Carolina is my prediction.
Well, in the meantime, American veteran journalist Sam Donaldson has come out endorsing Bloomberg. We want to listen to what he had to say.
I'm Sam Donaldson. I was a reporter in Washington for 52 years. I've covered every political campaign for the presidency in this country, beginning with Barry Goldwater through George W. Bush. I'm backing Mike Bloomberg. He understands people. He proved that as mayor of New York. And Bloomberg can beat Trump.
All right. He says Bloomberg can beat Trump. Do you think he's correct in this assumption? And do you think this endorsement is a good move for Bloomberg's team?
Well, you can tell my golden retriever's not happy about it. Apologize about the background noise there, but I think, is it a good move? No, I don't think so, and I'll tell you why. It is whether or not it helps Bloomberg or gives him some level of halo effect because of Sam Donaldson's credibility of a journalist is less important than the fact that Sam Donaldson is doing irreparable damage to the profession of journalism. At a time when distrust of the media is at an all-time high, when you have newspapers failing, when you have media really changing in terms of the way people are consuming it, because of a distrust and a belief that journalists are putting on their jerseys just like politicians are, Sam Donaldson, who is a very respected journalist, is going out and endorsing someone for president. And it is absolutely, can you imagine if Chris Wallace, or I'm trying to think of somebody of this stature, Britt Hume, who said, I never thought I'd see this, and retweeting Donaldson's endorsement. If someone from if a journalist endorsed Donald Trump, they would be drummed out of the profession. Now, Donaldson is retired, but there's already the suspicion, I think, from an overall standpoint of the impact that it has on Michael Bloomberg versus the impact it has on journalism. Journalism loses in this case. And it's really a shame, because I think what it does is Sam Donaldson, who ended his career with a lot of respect and integrity, is now going to have everything he said over the course of his career scrutinized for the fact that it probably came through a left of center prism.
All right, some fascinating points there. Always a pleasure speaking with you, Chris. He's Chris Wilson, political pollster and CEO of WPAi Intelligence. Thanks so much.